Welcome back to Monday Night Sports Rugby Review Time, and this will be kept to maybe a little bit under 10 minutes depending on how I feel. And it's a big welcome to one of the players in the middle of the action at Jade Stadium, Jeremy Winters. Welcome to Monday Night Sport.
Hey Tom.
Now the talk today is Backlash. The word Backlash, Canterbury stung by Otago last week and they took it out in Southland. How true was that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We took the full force of them. I was talking to Todd Blackadder after the game and he said, yeah, he got us at the wrong time. They had a huge training and a lot of the old hands in the team got together and got the old scrum and the forwards going and they just hooked into us, yeah.
Their loose forwards made a bit of a difference. Scott Roberts coming back, they're just a lot hungrier.
Yeah, they got more or less an all black loose forward, minus Angus, but he's probably as good as what you get in the country, and yeah, they seem to work in threes a lot better than what we did, sort of style. They're all over the paddock, yeah.
Tight fives going forward, it's a little bit easier to be effective as a loose forward though, isn't it? So, and more spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. They just hooked right into us, and we lost Leo in the first 5-10 minutes, which was a real bad loss, and Rog, so the basis of our scrum and our line out, everything works around those two, you know. Took them away and we sort of left as big gaping holes. But,
second week in a row you've lost key forwards, isn't it? Which must be very hard to keep changing combinations up front all the time.
Yeah, we've got a hell of an injury rate for 2 games in the season, but we sort of expected it because I think last campaign we used 30 players, 32. So we've got to expect it this year.
How about those guys? Chance, do you think, just initially, that they'll be available for Saturday?
Well, Leo's getting a scan today, and I think hopefully Roger will be alright too. But doesn't look too good, but let's hope, eh?
Okay, let's look at the Canterbury side, say, compared with Wellington in terms of the forward packs. How did you rate them? They're playing each other coming up, we'll talk about that later, but how did you rate them after Wellington? Yeah,
the Canterbury were a lot more physical and more keyed up, and I think we were a wee bit more complacent, really. Wellington was one of our target games. Bob was said right through that was the one we were going to win. We keyed up for that, and we were quite relieved. And this week we might have been a wee bit complacent. And Canterbury come flying at us there. They're just a wee bit more physical, and a wee bit more organised too, you know.
23-0 at half time. When you're going into the break with that sort of deficit, what's the strategy? Did you feel that you had a chance to come back if you lifted the game in the second 40?
Yeah, well, I thought we were right in the game right till about the last 10 minutes, really, and then was it 5 minutes they scored a couple of tries? If we kept them out then, it would have been 8-0. They did take. I thought we defended quite well, but that's basically what we were doing, defending, and then we were kicking a lot of our ball away. And then we come out the second half and we thought, well, let's have a crack at them. And it was sort of 30 minutes into the game before we woke up and then really got into them. And it was too late then, yeah.
Something we've discussed quite a bit on this program is, starting with club rugby, is continuity of possession. We're seeing a lot of the NPC teams just getting a bit of ball, maybe kicking it too much, not putting in the drives, not getting the combinations going early in the game, and therefore the confidence. That looked perhaps part of the story on Saturday. Yeah,
there was a lot of high turnover rate. It would seem to be the big question, and we did kick a lot of ball away actually, and like in Wellington the second half there where we hung on to it and we hooked in, and we kept the ball away from them, and that's when Southland we got back to a bit of basics really. And I think that's how we're going to have to take on teams, to be quite honest, and maybe not play too flashy but just get into it and try and not allow the team to get the pattern play going and stuff like that, like Wellington wasn't allowed to.
Were the conditions any factor? Was there any? I couldn't tell if there's any wind of any degree. It looked a nice clear night. Playing under lights for the first time at Lancaster Park, do you find that strange?
It was too nice of a night actually. Get back down here.
Trying to find out excuse. Well, some help.
We can't name too many excuses. The lights are brilliant, eh? I mean, the Lancaster Park's just magnificent. It's like a picture, isn't it? Or Jade Stadium, as I should say.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that.
And you run onto it, yes. It's all there, no excuses there, eh? But the game was quick though, eh? It's another level.
Was it from the Wellington game, or?
Yeah, oh, it's a lot more, the step up was.
Okay, how much have you seen of Northland so far? You've obviously taped the games, had a chance to analyse where perhaps they might be weak?
Yeah, Northland are very similar to us in the sense they'll be definitely targeting us, and this is our test match this week, to be quite honest, and so we've got to go all out. They've got a good forward pack. They've got, I don't think Norm Berryman's playing this week, hopefully not.
Unless he gets dropped.
Unless he gets dropped. So a lot of it revolves around him, the game playing, and the loose forward's very good. They're very similar to players, and they'll be definitely targeting us for survival.
They've struggled tight 5-wise against their 2 opponents so far. Admittedly, Auckland and Counties that day were quite a bit superior. So they look, perhaps this is a chance for us to put in some continuity, to string some phases together for the future as much as it is for Saturday's result. Yeah,
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see our backline get some quality ball, because I think our outside backs have been sort of neglected. In quality go forward ball, so it's up to us forwards to really get in there, and we'll see a spectacle in there, because I mean, you don't get much better than Peter Alatini and when you're going forward, and Full Taylor on his day, and Pilati and those guys, and it'd be nice for the public to go along and see those guys in flight, so it's going to be a hell of a work for us type forwards to wake up and smell the roses, sort of.
Well, they've done this year of tackling, so it's time to have a wee bit of a run, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now just before we put you to test on the NPC results coming up for this weekend, just talk about the singing career. I know you put together the CD, the Roaring Pen, and all the other great Southland songs. Tell us the plans for that release.
We hope to release, we were hoping to release this week. We're sort of sitting on the fence, hopefully before the Northland game. Give it a bash. If you buy a Swede, you'll get a you get a free CD. Buy a Swede for $10, and yeah, we hope to be able to launch it and have some ready for down at the game this week. Rugby Union have been really great about it. Roger Clark and them.
You've mentioned just casually before we come on air that it's starting to catch on, a little bit of after-match again in the Wellington arena. Yeah,
well, the best publicity we got was, with winning against Wellington, the crowd got off, and the pubs later on they got into it. It was credit to the old radio stations. They've been giving it a good go, and just a matter of people getting behind it. It's got the old Southland flavour and Southland lyrics.
We might have to get the group together, come on here and give it to us live. We do everything live here.
10.95, mate.
Okay, we're going to look at those NPC matches coming up this weekend. You've got a pretty hard act to follow. Both your predecessors, Clark Frew and Bob Telford, got 4 out of 5, I think. So here's the test for you. Otago Waikato, a home game. That's Friday night game. Waikato with a depleted side beating Counties yesterday. Otago struggling against Taranaki. What's your call?
Yeah, I think Waikato, they're real basic. They got back to the old basics. Their forward pack is just, really ticking over nicely, and they're sort of cutting out everything for other teams to get momentum going. I think they'll take over, sadly enough.
Do you think they'll beat Otago at home, Carisbrook, House of Pain and all that?
Their record's pretty good there too. I think they've won the last 3 years,
All right, Wellington Canterbury, you're well versed in both these teams, having played them in the last couple of weeks, so tell us how you see that. That's at Athletic Park.
Yeah, Canterbury definitely, it's a one-horse race there. I think their forwards are just too very, very professional, and with Blackout elite and playing as well as he is.
Okay, I'll agree with that, because I think the Canterbury backs, those younger guys, starting to kick on as well, which is a bit of a worry in that first game. Auckland Taranaki. Now Taranaki have been misjudged yet again. Every year with people write them off. They've come back, looked formidable, especially up front. Good enough with Auckland. Now Auckland, remember, have lost Xavier Rush and have another couple of injuries, Reichelman. Good enough Taranaki away? Yeah,
well, I think Taranaki will win that game, because I watched them playing the weekend there against Otago, and actually they were unlucky to lose.
Very unlucky.
I mean, they got just a bunch of really hard workers in there. They're not no frills team, and they hang on to the ball for so long. So I think they'll beat Auckland easily. There you go.
Okay, good strong prediction there. Now the cellar dwellers at the moment are North Harbour, who's struggling to string together a slightly better performance against Wellington than the previous week, but far from beating Counties Manukau, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, they're sort of they've got a team full of stars, aren't they, North Harbour? You have a look at their backline, imagine what it's worth, and Counties come off that loss, and I would say Counties, because North Harbour's forwards does not seem to be coping too well, and it shows when their backline gets the poor quality ball.
Well, Matt McCallan said Counties Manukau played one of their worst games ever, and I've been watching them for years, and I agree, because they just played shocking. They just thought they were going to win that game, I think, when they saw the depleted Waikato side, and then just capitulated as soon as the pressure came on.
Absolutely.
Good luck with those predictions. Good luck with Saturday's match and the launch of your CD.
Hey, thanks,
Jeremy
Tom.
Winters, thank you very much. Now, Southland may have a wee way to go to make the final. Southland Sharks have done so. We'll find out how with Andy Bennett right after this break.